Those of us who saw from the very beginning, indeed, at 6 years old, standing in front of the television watching JFK's funeral and saluting with little John John, even at that tender age, seeing something terribly wrong. The empty streets of a country in mourning was my first political awakening, followed by a war that killed off all of my heroes, one after another, until the day John Lennon died and the world turned colorless and black. The best we seemed able to achieve was to turn the word party from a noun to a verb, making our time with family and friends more important than the corporate, caffeine-driven, live only for work and money and prestige ethos. But we watched as hedonism and sex obsession and hippie groovy competition destroyed the movement and sent us all into seclusion in small circles of rare, trustworthy friends, suspicious of one another and scared of the harsh fascist consequences of being harassed and caught and fined and jailed for a gentle, tasty herb. But for the sake of art, music, literature, and spirit, some of us refused to cut our hair and beard, and we went on fighting the brave fight to show this war-weary, polluted, toxic, and economically biased elitist world that peace and love and mysticism were the only way to save the soul of humanity and the future of our civilization and restore the beauty and balance of the natural world. We kept inspiring the young with music and kindness and imagination and courtesy and respect for their intelligence. And we were called perverts, racists, devil worshippers, perpetual adolescents, fools, dreamers, and dismissed as irrelevant, spaced-out clowns, immoral, unethical, incapable, and stupid. Then we started to see something sprouting in the dead wasteland of our national will. Gay rights activists and anti-gun activists, peace marches, racial inequality and brutality came to us out of the invention that was designed to change our world forever: social media and the internet. An accumulative effect of graduating technology and expanding global unity consciousness created this international free-flowing medium that everyone could share, and the changes began to happen in isolated enclaves of progressive people, a latent and forgotten power that lay dormant in the burgeoning educated populace. The disenfranchised populace, voiceless and powerless and forgotten by the elites, became a shouting, eloquent voice of passionate hope for the future that was not a suicide pact by a heartless cartel of all-powerful overlords, a small collection of evil sardons, black, empty race of selfishness and self-intoxication and self-infatuation taken to sociopathic extremes by what we now call the 1%. Occupy Wall Street, protests against war, pollution, rights of all kinds began. Legalization of marijuana sprang up in the West and began to spread. And then a figure emerged from the noise of gridlock and derision and inaction. A funny man from Vermont who had been the oddball independent in the Senate, railing against war and poverty and elitism and empire. Uncle Bernie Sanders, the Moses who would set his people free. In the end, he did not get to the promised land with us, but he did show us the way out of this 50-year wilderness by climbing to the top of the mountain, like Martin Luther King Jr., And though he was forced by extortion and threats to fall on his sword, the torch has passed to another. That person is Dr. Jill Stein of the Green Party. I have heard the word of the goddess, and it is people, peace, and planet over profit. This is the new evolution that will save our planet and help us prepare for the dire consequences of holding back the future of the human race for the sake of maintaining the age-old aristocracy of financiers that have truly ruled our civilization since it regrouped in the Euphrates Valley 10,000 years ago and began this paternal warrior cult mentality that is the conflicted rage of the age of Pisces, but is now the horrible oppression of the awakening Aquarian age of the water bearer who stands up out of those churning waters to breathe the free and equal air of a restored ecology, a fair economy, and a new and hopeful humanity, not chained to materialism, limited by existential rationalism, hobbled by mythic retardation, or dehumanized by sociopathic, self-intoxicated elites and their small-minded and small-hearted minions into sheepish consumers. A new nation that cares more for wisdom than for wealth and unconditional love over personal prestige and mutual respect and appreciation and cooperation over selfishness, greed, murder, and competition. The Green Party is our only hope now. The Democratic Party used fascist tactics to steal the elections as much as the Republicans have in the past. The power of the corporate super PACs have corrupted them both equally, so that we have one party, the party of corporate global empire. This party is dedicated to holding back the future, stalling new technologies, killing off any innovations, ensuring the money flowing to the few is not interrupted by the petty cries of oppression and wrath from the ignorant masses. And as they try to steal the power from the rightful people, they will bring down their own elitism and ecological and economic disaster. Until only the Green Party remains as the coastal cities drown in the sea and the masses of humanity stand in a treeless, toxic wasteland, a bombed-out, post-industrial, burning rubble. Then will the rich see through their tears the terrible neglect of their fellow human being, regardless of economic class or skin tone or cultural heritage, suffering lives of poverty, ignorance, and hopelessness without even a chance to ever pursue happiness for the grave tyrannical necessity of just trying to survive another hard and deadly day of part-time wage slave robbery. Now that we are coming to see those brave hippies still among us, old and gray now, with weary, disheartened souls, have seen too much trauma and death, like old vets of a long-lost revolution, the sons and daughters of the Earth Mother Goddess, in change to global fascism. We stand a ragged and powerless army, ready to fight one last time to make the next decade the one that revives the hope of a people lost, the disowned generations of peace and love and herb that has been the medicine made by her all along to heal our war-weary souls and restore our humility and reverence to nature, as we have been trying to tell you. And our values are still there, ringing in those old forgotten songs of liberty, cosmic consciousness, and the eternal and endless wellspring of compassion, still waiting for the world to set free the dammed up conscience that loves this world and all the people in it. A global movement of people dedicated to peace, love, and a future we can all believe in. A Green New Deal that saves our civilization from war, hate, fascism, and planetary suicide due to ego intoxication and mythic retardation of the elites. I am Lunge the dinosaur, and I withdraw my support with respect to Senator Uncle Bernie Sanders. Long may he continue to work within the system for equality and justice. And I now announce that I endorse Dr. Jill Stein, the Green Party nominee for President of the United States, and all the Green Party candidates, including my good friend Matt Funicello of the 21st Congressional District of my beloved upstate New York home. Thank you. People, peace, and planet over profit. Let us not go extinct